2 minutes? Okay. Well, we're going to start on time. We've got to get this train to Cleveland.
That's right.
Why?
Oh, are we?
Don't ask.
It's safer not to ask. Okay, let's see a show of hands. How many people were watching Bleach 5 years ago? Okay, keep your hands up now.
It wasn't on 5 years ago. What?
I mean,
Yeah,
Where were you watching?
it was.
Yeah, how about 7 years ago?
Really?
How about 10 years ago? Wow. 15.
What?
Be honest, 15.
The hands are coming down. Tsunami.
Yeah, the tsunami. It's like the Edo
All right, that's
part of
good.
Japan, but it's the tsunami era in
Wow,
this country.
15 years ago. That's impressive.
Yeah.
Yep.
So many of you were in grade school when you started watching? Is that-
Really?
Good for you.
Wow.
I wish I'd gotten out of grade school.
Who was your favorite Hollow?
Oh, no, tell that's just like the general consensus.
Yami Rialgo, come on, guys. Yami Rialgo. It's a favorite Hollow, you know? Okay, I'll give you that one. Ukiora.
There was an electric face mask in the back.
Okay.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're here for a panel about Bleach. You are Bleach fans, and we are happy to have you here. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll all introduce ourselves, starting from left to right. Tony?
Hi, I am Tony Oliver and I play Yora.
They hate you, Tony. They hate you.
I'm Michael Sorich. I was the original director of the first 21 episodes before things went sideways. And I was also originated the voice of Don Kanoji, the Spirit Hunter.
How do you follow that? How am I supposed to introduce myself? I'm Steve Kramer, and I was the voice of Shunsui Kyoraku,
Oh, Shunsui. Shunsui.
who's still alive in some place. They're gonna, we're not done. They have another, what they call a cour, which is another section of Bleach, and we haven't recorded it yet. So it's still coming. There's more Bleach to come.
And I'm still there.
And Tony's still dead.
Paul St. Peter, I was Yami Rialgo Hasero.
That's the same voice you did for Nine Tails.
No, Nine Tails is different.
Subtle.
Settled
I
it.
have something good to stick with it.
Damn right.
Hey, what's going on? I'm Terrell Lane Colbert, and I played Ayo, the #1 top Paco creator. Oh,
Yeah.
and the captain, whose name I cannot remember right now. Very intricate Asian name that I cannot remember.
Anybody out there know who he played?
His picture's on my
Asian.
banner, so.
Asian.
No, I played Oetsu Maya, but then there's another guy who talks like this. I forgot his name. I'll figure it out.
See, frankly, you guys know more about the show than we do
Yeah.
when it comes down to it.
Well, very good reasons for that. You guys all ask us, well, then when such and so happened to this episode that you in, you don't get, when I get my last line of the episode, they fast forward to the next thing I'm doing. So I don't know how the scene ended.
Yeah.
Because we didn't see it. And here's another shocker. They don't give us copies of all the shows we
No.
do.
No.
We do not get,
You watch the same time you do.
yeah, we see it. We finish the episode and they just fast forward to the next thing. So honestly, I don't know how this and that combat was done. I don't know how this finished. I don't know what somebody said to me when I had the next to last line in the episode and somebody responded to that. But I'm not seeing the script. We just skip forward.
Yeah.
So again, you guys see it and you know more about the show than we
They
do.
also don't give us the script ahead of time. We don't see it till we're in the studio.
Yeah, it's just
So
cold.
we
It's
don't know
cold.
what's happening until we get there.
Uh-huh. We
So-
get to read cold.
If anybody out there would like to take my seat, because you know more about the show than I do, I'll sit out there and raise my hand and ask questions. Oh, thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
All right, do we have any questions?
Go ahead, gentlemen.
Were you all excited when y'all heard that they're gonna animate the 1,000-year blood art?
We got excited. We got excited because there's a lot of work.
Yeah, none of which I got, so no, I wasn't in blood, so I wasn't the least bit excited. And he doesn't care.
I don't care.
Kenpachi, oh dang it, Kenpachi,
Yes.
Kenpachi. Yes, that's how you say it. I was super excited because I was not in OG Bleach, and I got a call from Ryan, who is the current director of Bleach, and he was like, "Hey, let's see if you sound good as a wetsuit." And so he brought me in, and I was like, I did what I did. He was like, "Yeah, that's gonna work. Let's start recording." Then I was very nervous.
Wow.
Because I had had some success as Killer B and other characters, but you never know how you, the fans, are going to accept or reject us because you are the experts. But they leaked it before it came out, and it was on Twitter, and there were so many positive remarks, and I was like, yeah, that's how I felt when I heard about Bleach 1,000 years ago.
Anybody got questions they want to throw at us? All right.
Not everybody at once.
Okay, goodbye. Thank you for being here, goodbye.
Green hand here.
Your character in Bleach, you voiced my kind of think, oh, I wish I could have voiced that character.
Oh, man.
You too.
That's awesome.
Renji.
I don't have an answer for that because I think it covered a lot of stuff that we covered, things that we wanted to cover. I don't know that I would have a good one for you.
Byakuya. Scatter. What's that?
They said the name, something Zakara.
Oh, okay, thank you. I just remember the guy. Okay, I'm seeing a lot of ears sticking up out here, but no hands. What are these questions?
Good.
Yes.
Y'all seen all the Bleach? Like y'all watched it all individually?
I also direct with some of the other people here. And so basically I spend 8 hours a day watching animation while we're dubbing this show and that show. And so I don't know much. I don't watch like real people and real TV at all.
I haven't seen all of Bleach, only because I have to work and I got kids and I got a lot of stuff to do. But I am gonna sit down and watch the whole run at some time. It's like
Really?
9
Boy, is that a
seasons,
commitment.
right? Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, there's a lot of Bleach.
Right.
I was lied to doing the attacks with like Ankas and stuff because some of them are like really long or like for some of the styles like having to incorporate Spanish accents to your attack. How was that like?
Well, I actually spoke Spanish first before I spoke English, so that part was easy for me. The ramping up and trying to make it seem correct, because Bleach has a particular style to it, and my guy is very quiet. So trying to find a balance between all of that stuff, and even then, even when we did the video game not too long ago, Evil Souls, we get to the end at the very end of every session, when we do our reaction, we go all screaming and all that stuff, and we got to me. And we got to the end. He goes, okay, Tony, you need a break. We're gonna do all of the reactions because, oh yeah, you're okay. No, just okay. Just do what you do. All my reactions are.
All my grunts were in Spanish.
I did have an argument. I did have a bit of an argument over the Hueco. It's spelled H-U-E, Hueco, and they were telling us to say Hueco. And I'm trying to make a point that Waco is a town in Texas. and they moved the language that we had to do at Waco. But they actually wrote a letter saying they acknowledged that we were saying it wrong and promised not to make us do it again. So that was,
Oh wow.
yeah, read the manuscript, show the text to me.
Oh, yeah.
Most people write a letter and say, promise they'll never hire Paul St. Peter again. So that I have a different experience along those lines.
I signed that.
You drafted it, for Christ's sake. God. What are friends for, right?
That's right. More questions? Yes, sir.
I'm close to y'all. Do y'all still stay in communication with each other outside of cons?
Sadly,
We hate
yes.
each other. Yeah. A lot of us play poker together, smoke cigars together, barbecue together, so yeah.
Yeah, we like each other.
Well,
Hard to
nobody
believe,
likes
isn't
Mike.
it?
We don't like Mike, but we invite him anyway.
Yeah, most of the people that do this have developed a social relationship outside of the work, you know. Usually the guys, I mean, I do a lot of directing, or I did. Most of the guys are pretty sharp and have good senses of humor. And we find that we get along really well outside of work, you know, so we find things to do together. But it's true, some of us play poker kind of on a regular basis, so.
And then when we first started, at least when I first started, there's maybe 50, 60 people who do this.
Yeah.
And then now there's thousands and whole teams of actors that are coming up, and they all tend to hang out together too.
Right.
So you'll see a convention sometimes, you see like 3 or 4, they're probably from the same group, and then the older group over here, and then all the newbies over here, and it's become a big deal, it's become a big social thing among all of them. And now that the mainstream entertainment is coming into play, with Bean Slayer, things like that, you're seeing them moving this on the red carpet now, but there's still all buddies and friends and all that stuff. So it's a club.
It is.
We've all felt the same pain.
These are some of the only friends I've ever had.
And we don't even like him. but
I know.
He's still our friend, though.
I know.
You have to, everybody has a charity case, you know?
He was down at the pool and he had rings on his chest for being poked with a 10-foot pole. So I don't just think that you're the only social outcast out there, folks. We are social outcasts as well.
Yeah.
That's why we get along so well.
Way in the back there, please, way back there.
My question is though, how do you feel having played not just one but 2 high energy characters, especially with being all that rapping that you had to do back?
It's an honor and a privilege to be part of these, great IPs and to have brought these 2 characters to life who affect, again, the main character. Like B and Owetsu are both teachers. They each have their own styles. B's a little nice about it, and Owetsu's kind of, throw him in the pool and see if he swims. But it's been amazing, and again, these Naruto and Bleach, I feel like the actors are taking it very seriously, and there's a sort of verisimilitude to the performances. Not to say any other animes are not, but when I watch it, I feel like everybody's being super. It's more like it's almost like serious work we're doing for cartoons and animation.
Yep.
So again, to be part of something like that, also for me has been amazing, and to join these amazing actors who've been doing it and taught me how to do it, and it's really cool.
Yes, sir. Me?
Did Saruto from Naruto and Yaruto and Bleach, is it a relief to do 2 characters that are so definitively different?
Yes. Next. No.
In a word.
No, yeah. Yes, because you don't want to just do the same character over and over and over again. I have a tendency to get cast in for characters that are low, growly. That's just my voice placement anymore. But it's more interesting, certainly as an actor, as a person, to have a character that has a different attack on things. They won't write the same kind of lines for somebody that has a more straightforward approach to things, as opposed to somebody who's like a dragon or something like that. So that's part of the joy of doing this kind of work, is you get to develop different characters. If I did this the same one time after time, series after series, I'd give it up because it would be boring.
Leaving us. Leaving us.
He'll be back. I think he'll be back.
Yeah.
When you were reading your lines or scripts, was anything popped out that shocked you about your character?
Sometimes when they use four-letter words. They're.
Like he's never said one before.
I do in regular life, but you go and you expect something, the script to be, better behaved, but there are times when they can make the show, R-rated. I did the one season of my character was Grunbeld, and the show was
Samantha.
It was about a snake?
Hey, thank you for playing.
and that's no points for Paul St. Peter. Can we move on, please?
Well, going off what Paul said.
Almost
yes,
said.
When they were like, this show is on Hulu and we're going to be swearing, and I said, shit. I was like, yeah, we can do that. Then there's more blood and
Yeah.
There was an episode where Orihime is having a hunger strike, and the little girl's trying to get her to eat. And I felt like I needed to take a shower after I finished that, because it was just really kind of creepy and disgusting and rapey and all that stuff. So, yeah, sometimes you see that stuff and go, really? I have to play that? Okay.
But that's the English version, the Japanese and some of the other foreign countries, they don't have these kinds of queasiness that we do about.
Quibbles.
Yeah, I mean, they'll get down and dirty with this stuff, which is fine.
Yeah.
What's happening?
Bring in a chair for Wendy.
She doesn't need a chair.
Yes.
Yeah.
Five earlier.
There was only 5, but then the 6th chair, starring Tony Oliver, Paul St. Peter,
Me.
Steve.
And Michael Sorge as the beaver.
Cattell.
yeah.
Well, now that you've done all that, is she here?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Oh, good.
So there's going to be like a grand entrance?
Here we go. Ba, 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 ba.
Yeah, let's all do a grand entrance.
Follow spot, please.
That's right.
There's it. Oh, no. Hit you back.
No, forget it.
Hip.
False
That's it.
entry. False entry.
All right, let's see another question already. Go ahead. You have a question. Go ahead.
He's looking back to make
Somebody
sure.
knew.
Is it okay?
Y'all kind of represent like 3 different eras of sort of like, Bleach, considering like the 20 years ago, 10 years ago, and then more recently.
Yes.
How would you say like dubbing and sort of this interaction in the booth has kind of changed over that period of time?
Technology.
It goes faster now.
We spend less time worrying about the technical stuff and the sync and all that stuff, and more time worrying about the acting and the emotion. The technology's increased to the point where the engineering, we only have to get it close enough, the engineers can take it the rest of the way now. In terms of technical sync, the acting has to come from us. So, but it's mostly been technological and increase in speed. And speed and efficiency means it costs less to make, which means they can make more things. So that's the hopefully that.
Yeah.
Yo,
Like,
dubbing,
still the room there, good.
when dubbing originally started, it was on Nobber tape, right?
When we started, it was reel to reel. I was reel to
2-inch.
3/4 inch.
Yeah.
No, before that,
Yep.
before 2-inch, 3/4 inch reel to reel tape, or 1-inch reel to reel tape.
Wow.
8 tracks per tape, and for Robotech they had 32 tracks, so we had 4. Yeah.
By the way, the ability, I wasn't there in that. The ability to do that and make that look good is that the technical skill that it takes is crazy.
Yeah, we had no beeps.
We had no beeps.
Wow.
No beeps.
That's
Sure,
right.
doing something in 2 or 3 takes that we can do now, it was 10 takes.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
It was like these.
If you don't know how the technical thing works, when you're in the booth and you're waiting to do your line, they're running the video. As it comes up to you, you hear beep, 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 and you go on the imaginary fourth
Fourth
beep.
beep.
That's right.
But when we started, there were no beeps. You just had to eyeball it
Wow.
and pray for the best.
There
Well,
was some time code running on the top, but it goes so fast, you really couldn't see it. But it was the, okay, here comes something, there we go. I missed it. It was kind of like that.
And now they can, stretch or shrink your words a bit more. They can move it a frame forward and back.
We have voice
Are you ready?
voice cue as well, which
You ready
like
for this?
vocal karaoke. It's running underneath the picture,
Yeah, that's,
so you don't have to look at a script anymore.
You ready for this? Dun, 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 dun. Good night, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, no.
Speaking of Rebecca Bleach,
Yeah.
Hey, everybody. Thank you for letting me join you late.
Yeah, part of that was when we would have a situation where the writer had written that this is the beginning of the cue. It's at 7 minutes, 14 seconds, and 12 frames. Okay, now there's 30 frames per second film, right?
no, 24.
Oh, it's 24 now? Okay. So we would actually have to come in right on the frame. And that's why to this day, those of us from those days are very, very sharp. We still do these things. I was working on a show where the director was counting just like that. And I finished the cue up. This is at Todd AO. And when
Ooh.
above,
Big
above
time, Todd
they were
AO.
out there. And so I finished the cue up and the director said, was he out by 47? I said 46 plus plus. And the engineer said 46:24. And the director looked at me and I said, I'm from the old days.
Yeah. We really know time code. It was your friend because
Yep.
you had to work with it to make it hit.
Yep.
All right, so let's welcome Wendy Lee. for this.
Yes.
So sweet. Thank
Yeah,
you.
We all get to ourselves. so.
Oh, okay, great. Yes. I was lucky enough to be voice director on Bleach for a good 4 years. I helped and encouraged to cast a lot of our friends. I don't know if it was any of, yeah, some of you guys I've suggested for many roles. I helped working on rewrites and adapting scripts at times. And I had the honor of being the first fangirl to freak out when I saw Yodoichi and beg for the role. So I was actually able to play Yodoichi because, you know, wearing clothes is so uncomfortable when you're a Neko.
The first female monster in horror.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Because Tony and I have been, and Mikey, we were all working together all of us have been working on
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
true.
Wendy has been naked many times in the studio.
No,
Oh,
wait
I'm
a
sorry.
second
I'm in her
here.
character. I'm in her character.
We're not objectifying.
Come on, don't exaggerate. You all know who was topless in the booth.
Oh, yeah.
No, you know.
Yeah, baby.
Well, Wendy, that's the only way I can think of you.
Sorry.
He was our ADR supervisor.
Right.
Yeah.
Scott Pachter Page. And he would be, you
And
would
David
be
Walsh.
So you'd be working this way, and then you look over for your direction notes, and they would be standing at the desk completely naked.
Yeah.
That's what it looked like. So they
Yeah.
would take off their shirts and just stand there. Bare chest would be like, what? Yeah, go ahead, do your next line.
Yeah, Scott called it nude dubbing.
Nude dubbing, that's right.
We also had that amazing Becky, Good Morning, My Friendly Bluebirds chain. Do
Yes.
you remember that? They would play it, Rebecca Okalski, or was she forced out on that?
Yeah.
I don't
No,
remember.
I think she was Okalski.
And she had this really sweet voice. She was the voice of Min May on
Robotech,
Robotech.
yeah.
Played by Reba West.
Reba West, excuse me. And she's been in a ton of your childhood titles. And she had this beautiful line saying, "Good morning, my friendly bluebirds." And then Scott Pachter Page, our ADR supervisor, would collect clips from all of the recording sessions and made this long chain of everybody you know saying, "Good morning, Becky. Hey, Beckett. Oh, Becky. Hey, Becky." And it was just this way we would start every day. It was so sweet. And it gave us permission to be goofy and try to crack each other up.
Exactly.
All right, so more questions.
If you haven't.
Yes.
All the way in the back?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, all the way in the back?
Yeah.
No, over here.
That back.
Try
not-
back.
Not this back, that back.
Not back in the hoodie.
All right, I'll try to give it a shot. Bleach was like one of the first big animes I saw. They had like a lot of diverse characters from like different parts of the world. So I know maybe like early 2000s, like late 90s, they tried to give characters like maybe like minorities or like somewhere else, like stereotypical accents or behaviors. So how refreshing was that when you guys didn't have to play into those negative stereotypes?
We didn't have to play to the stereotypes.
Yeah.
No.
I've never had to play into that, so that'd be a thing for Taro, but I gotta say that for the last 5 or 6 years especially, started before COVID, there's been a decided reach out, an attempt to kind of be more inclusive and bring that to light. And a lot of it had to do with realizing that it wasn't that this person wasn't getting the role because they were black, it's they weren't even getting to read. And that was the problem, so that they didn't even get a chance. That's where the changes happened, and what you see now is a lot more diverse casts being cast.
Yeah, I sort of
And
came
a lot
up.
less based on skin and all that stuff. So.
I sort of came up in the beginning of that era, and there's a lot of new talent like Zeno and Anaris and her husband, what's her husband's name? JJ, who are rocking it now, you know, so there's a lot of voices. But I think you were specifically talking about the way that you're performing, right? And, you know, it's,
Because I know, like, maybe say like, not to search, but say they got like a black character in the show.
Right.
So the black character had to do like all get yo, what's up, man? What's up? That wasn't
right on. Well, here's the thing. I have a hot take on that. Is as an actor, I think anybody should be able to play anybody. Now, there is an exception if you're doing like like a parody of the voice. Like, you know, there's a lot of funk about oh man, who's the dude on The Simpsons who worked at the Quickie Mart? You know, who
Yeah.
Hank Azaria did for years, or the guy from what's his name, Clayton Brown. You know that dude. But it's like I like those performances. But then there's Cree Summer who played Penny on Inspector Gadget when I was a kid. So the thing is, taking away the frame of representation, I think, you know, because I would like to be able to play a Wookiee, unless they find a real Wookiee to play the part, you know.
No, if you think about it though, what was that controversy recently when they said, in one of the fantasies, I think it was, one of the chapters of like Return of the King and stuff like that, where one of the dwarves was black.
Oh,
And there was that huge controversy. Wait a minute, dwarves can't be black? Well, why not?
Why not? Yeah, sure.
That is the question, because first, it's a Tolkien story, it's fantasy, so why would the person necessarily have to be white or whatever, you know?
Green.
Yeah, or green, yeah. And
Shout
here
out
we-
Professor Tolkien.
Yeah,
Bottom line, we got a long way to go, but we're at least moving in the right direction.
yeah, and again, the right word is inclusion. It's getting to, we're saying, look, we want to include everybody as being up for this role. You don't have to think of, well, this person can only be this, because, come on, I've played characters who were Protestant.
What?
I was raised Catholic. And it gets that bad in some cases where they say a character who is Jewish in the story was played by a non-Jew. And that was actually a big controversy. This is ridiculous. They cast non-Jews to play Jews? No, stop. The best actor for the role, in our case, the best actor for the print, voice print, you know.
But I think we were talking at another panel about how most of the characters from Japan in the early days were all white.
Yeah.
I mean, they might have been, they weren't even really Japanese. They were sort of, you know, generalized, not real racial, but they were white. We just didn't see too many minorities represented, but that has changed, thankfully. You know, people have progressed, even in Japan. And, you know, you're seeing a much better cross section of real life now.
But you have your hand.
So, you know, with you guys playing in the show for so long, it went on hiatus during that time where a lot of us didn't think it would come back. Are you all hopeful that it would come back?
Some people jumped off the roof. No,
I did that 3 times. I jumped off a 50-story.
didn't help. They still didn't hire him back.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah, well,
I came into that from hiatus, so.
whenever something stops, there are no paychecks, so you damn right, we want to come back.
We knew that there was more content, and the fans kept saying, are you gonna do the rest? There's a much larger core in the manga as well, and we were so hopeful. And we really don't get much information because of our non-disclosure agreements, so we don't know anything until it's a go. Sometimes you'll hear the buzz mounting. I certainly follow the trades to find out a lot of this information because they don't tell us a whole lot. But once it's time to go, like, everybody needs to get ready and be available now. And we were just so thrilled after so much time to come right back to it and just pick up right where we left off. Were you surprised?
I was very surprised.
Yeah.
I didn't think they were gonna bring it back. The way it ended, in the final arc, a lot of people were disappointed with the way it ended, so I never thought they were gonna go forward with Thousand Year Blood.
Amazing. We're just so grateful they did. Right on.
Sure.
I was talking to somebody earlier. We were in another panel and something, we were talking about Naruto. And somebody in the audience said that their understanding was that there's a 4-episode special.
That was me, yeah.
Oh, that was
There's
you.
4 additional.
You weren't in the
episodes.
audience.
I was up here. No, there are 4 additional episodes of Naruto that are in the can. Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw part of it.
And then a rumor about another season.
That I read, I don't have any like real tea to spill, but yeah, I read that they're gonna be doing another season of Naruto.
So we're just passing rumors around here.
That's
So,
right. That's right. Although the 4 episodes is not rumor, I've seen that.
okay.
I have ocular proof.
Yeah, you do have to be careful. When something appears in the manga, it does not mean it's going to find it into an episode.
Thanks.
So it might be very well you see it in the manga, like the things they're saying about Kurama coming back. This is a younger version of Kurama, and he's all over the manga. I said, okay, well, first of all, is he going to make it into the anime when the Japanese do it? And this is a different case. I can't make the voice of Kurama younger. Okay, so if they're giving me, somebody beamed up there. Beam me up, Scotty, this planet sucks. Okay. But that's a case where if I'm supposed to be a younger Kurama, maybe I'll record it and then they'll mess with it, engineer it, or have somebody younger, they're dead, but have somebody younger do the role and then change the voice around to sound more like me. It's hard to tell. But again, be careful when you look at the manga, that you may see something that does not find it into the Japanese, which means we don't get it either. You know.
That's pretty typical.
Yeah.
Yes.
On that topic, is there any more cooperation between Japan and America on stuff? Like, if they know they're working on something that's been dubbed, do the Japanese companies give whoever's, had that license a heads up, or is it more just, find out about it till?
I got to interview the president of Tatsunoko Productions for Dr. Wolford, that never finished, but, and I asked him that very question. And his answer was, we don't care what the United States does. We're making shows for Japanese people. If it happens to play well there, then great.
Wow.
That said, they did make some changes in the Ranger series in order to accommodate Power Rangers, but they were making hundreds of billions of dollars from what we were doing with it, so they were a little bit more cooperative with that. But by and large, they don't care. They're making stuff for the Japanese public, and because of that, I think it's why it resonates here, because it is decidedly different storytelling.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting though, because we're finding more signage in English, and we're seeing a lot more of English words making their way into the dialogue. I'm seeing that in Blue Exorcist. That's been coming up quite a
And
bit.
you see in Japan too.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I saw a billboard when I was in Tokyo. I saw a billboard for a local telephone company, but it was completely in English.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
maybe it's cool as
Yeah, it
well,
must
the
be,
cool
yeah.
factor. Yeah, I do actually. I'm getting ready, gearing up for Cyberpunk Edge Runner Season 2, and I'm working with the producers now, and they're very open to including signage in English, and Studio Trigger is very on board with us using recognizable Western symbols. And yeah, I think that is changing a bit. You can make a series purely for Japan, but if it comes to the US and does well, it just by sheer numbers of population, it will be far more financially rewarding and feasible if it's a hit in the US or any English-speaking nation. And of course, we've got FIGS, which are the international languages that titles get dubbed into. FIGS is an acronym.
So is Wendy as my teacher character going to come back in Cyberpunk 2?
Oh, that's right. I can't remember what happened to him.
Nothing, because it was such a tiny role, but everybody said, loved your work in Cyberpunk, and I was embarrassed because I had like 8 lines as a school administrator, and that was it.
You weren't a tree this time.
No.
Paul and I have a long history of me casting him as a tree, ironically, and I don't know how it keeps happening. A tiny tree.
The first time I was this very mean monstery tree, I would grab things, and the next time we had this
You have to
animated
just
series.
the voice first.
Yes.
Of the mean one.
Oh, yeah. I can't remember the lines exactly, like,
Lines don't matter.
what it likes, come closer,
Yes. Yes.
come feel my bark, or something like that, right? And then we did this really cute thing, and I was only in the first episode and the last.
Polar opposite.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was saying like, and now as our story begins, we'll be doing the, and I was doing it like a little children's story. And I go from being, this thing that would strangle you and crush the life out of your body. And then it's little flowers on me and it's a fairy tale and all that.
There are no small actors, just saplings.
Okay, Steve, why don't we just leave it there?
Whoa!
Too much shade.
Okay, what's the root of this problem?
Go ahead, you know you're gonna throw something.
Denying all of you.
Well, that was a reach, but anyway.
Anybody else out there?
Next?
What was your most troubling lines, or if, like, where you had to either just take it over and over again, or you were just like practicing it, because it's like, there's no way I can make it.
Please.
In his case, almost every line had to be done over and over again.
Any line that I actually acted in, she would not take. You have to be real. You have to come off. No, you're acting, stop. So, when I first started, I know you're laughing, but it's true. But it's kind of what makes acting fun. Because, okay, now I have to find my way to that. So I took me a couple of episodes before I found the guy. But yeah, most of it was like, I can't get it. I'm feeling it. It's my bag of tricks isn't working. All of this.
What I wanted was a unique, completely different character for you. I've known so many.
Oh, thank God you did that.
And I really wanted to find the subtleties and let you ease into that experience, which is really liberating for an actor to just sort of ease into a character that feels like it fits and you understand what the next move is going to be for that character. That's when you really can start jamming. You're not thinking about the dialogue as much as just living that experience. So yeah, that was really fun.
Thank you.
I have to say, wow, Bleach was such a challenge with all the Japanese. I think I had a 17-page pronunciation guide that I standardized by everybody actually giving us an audio recording of how to pronounce the word correctly. Well, all of that went out the window for the last season, but we really worked hard to standardize all of that. And Johnny Young Bosch had epic, full Japanese phrases that he's like, I'm speaking Japanese over here. I'm like, I know, go for it, because I can't. So yeah, that was really challenging. Anytime we have to use a lot of Japanese. You've all had it, like all your bankais and stuff. Yeah.
The show I was trying to remember earlier was Berserk.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I played the role of Grinbeld in that. But along the lines of the question, one of the hardest things I had to do was before I did Grunbeld in the first episode, I played the part of a thief. And two of us caught this girl, and this is an R-rated thing. So we were ripping off her tunic and she was topless. This was a scene about rape. And the director was a woman, and she said, could we please do this in one take? And I said, we'll try and get it done because it was disturbing. Now, the good news was she had powers, so the two of us attackers went flying off and got killed, that sort of thing. So it was good news there. But that was hard to do. I'm so sorry. But that was very hard to do because it was something you wouldn't expect in an anime, but that's the way Berserk is. It's R-rated and very, very dark and sexual violence, you know.
I would think Berserk is an L show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More questions? Go ahead.
Have y'all met all y'all like counterparts, the Japanese counterparts?
Unfortunately,
No.
Oh, I got to meet Aya Hirano who does Haruhi Suzume's voice, and because she is also the actress that was Konata in Lucky Star, and Tony plays my father in that series, and he's the one that turns Konata onto anime and gaming. It's an amazing relationship. But I did get to meet her and do a performance with her at Anime Long Beach many years ago.
That's
It was a
right.
great, they had both of us appear together for Haruhi Suzumiya, and it was a beautiful concert. And then she did a whole concert. She did like 4 or 5 songs afterwards. In Japan, the voice actors on kind of our level that have a lot of experience can actually become huge superstars, and they're driven in limos to their TV appearances, and they get record deals and touring, and it's a big deal. Not so much here. Japan has a very interesting kind of 3-step pay scale. And there's an entry level, there's the working class voice actor, that's predominantly the majority of the actors from what we understand. And then there's the superstars. So they can go on to, buy a house from one great show, and do very, very well. We, as Americans, are very democratic about the way we approach the pay scale. And we're really for what we call favored nations, where everybody's getting the equal pay. So that took us right out of that three-tiered superstar system.
You didn't get the limo? You got the limo, right?
I got the limo, yeah.
Paul, you got?
Are you kidding? I drive the limo.
Tony, you got the limo, Tony, didn't you? Oh, okay.
But I just have to say, hell yeah, go Dodgers.
Yeah, go Dodgers.
So just jumping on what you just said, I got to meet the creator of Lucky Star. We were at a convention together, and we were talking through interpreters, and I first thanked him for creating this, for the work and all that stuff, and we're all very formal and lovely. And then he asked me what I played. I said I played Quanta's father. He just went, Roberto.
Roberto.
I wanted to meet the actor for Kurama. And when you listen to the Japanese, he has a big voice and speaks like this. It doesn't have the same texture. But I always said, I want to meet that guy and I want to arm wrestle him. And I found out the guy is 10 years older than I am. He's this little guy, So I'm like, yeah, America first. No.
Oh my God.
But I wanted to meet him because I love the performance he does and the voice he does. I just wanted to have sort of a voice off with him. It would be great, There was something in the works about getting me over there to do a session, or I should say a con in Tokyo.
Yep.
And it was going to be a lot of Naruto stuff, so that they were talking about maybe getting us together to do something, but nothing's come of it.
They were talking about that with several of the actors. I think I was approached to try and get the Japanese actor who originated the part, and then the American actor who did it here. It would be interesting. We wouldn't be able to speak to each other, but it would be interesting. Yeah.
All right, more questions here. Go ahead.
A general question, but what or who got you guys into voice acting?
You said that was a downer question?
Yeah.
General.
Oh, general.
I wanted to be an actor from the time I was in elementary school, so I was just always trying to do that. I was trying. I was auditioning for Happy Days 4 or 5 times.
Wow.
And Shirley, and I was up for Pony Boy and the Outsiders. I was
Wow.
up for William Martelli and Fame. I was up for a lot of big parts, and never could get past the callback. Could never get past the first callback. Just couldn't. My very first voiceover thing I auditioned for, I landed. It was a small, doing a small background on a William Wall film, which was really depressing. And then they pulled me out of that and auditioned me for something, and I gave you that role, which was a theatrical anime called The Secrets of the Fire Child, and they gave you the lead. They thought I had a lot of experience. I had never really done this before. So it's so that led to Robotech. A couple of years later, I got a phone call from, I think, you or somebody, come on in and try this
I have no
out.
memory of that.
And I went on, so my third audition was Robotech. So my first 3 auditions voiceover, I landed a movie, and a TV series. I never looked back.
Yeah.
And I thought voiceover is where I need to be, and that's what I stayed the rest of the time.
Yeah.
I started out in on camera. I did about 30 shows over the years. Golden Girls and Desperate Housewives and a few others. I had a bunch of credits, but I wasn't moving up into like guest star range or series regular range. And eventually, that's the voiceover auditions happened, and I started doing that. And then it became I haven't given up doing on camera. I still audition for it. But I do the work in voiceover, and I just do the auditions for on camera. So this is where the action is.
And auditioning on camera, I'm so sorry.
No,
I
go ahead.
wanted to add how hard it is now with self-tapes and how you have
Oh,
to
yeah.
produce a whole
Crazy,
mini production. They want you to memorize the dialogue. They want you to light it, stage it.
No, actually, they don't require you to memorize it. I still do the
It
auditions.
says that on the thing.
I know, it looks better if you can. I post the lines next to the camera, and so I can look back and forth and look like I'm not reading them.
Yeah, there's
But-
teleprompter software, there's a lot you can do.
But since COVID, they don't have as many auditions at a casting director's or producer's office. It's almost
done.
all done at home.
Done, yeah.
You do it on your cell phone. They tell you to do it on a horizontal way. And they say that you don't have to memorize. So you do the best you can. The lighting's usually not great, but somebody books the part.
That's right.
You know, and so you keep on trying, you know, if everybody, if it's a level playing field and we're all doing it at home, you know, somebody's gonna book it.
Yeah, I had started in San Diego, and the question about being inspired by the person, we used to play street football, and the guy across the street was our quarterback. And I remember, I think I was in sixth grade, he said something about being in drama in high school and doing productions and how much fun it was. And something about that grabbed a hold of me. Long before I ever did anything on screen, I'd been in San Diego. I was 4 years with the opera company, singing in the chorus, did the Civic Light Opera, did a million musicals, did work at the Old Globe Theater and the Cassius Carter Center Stage, which are biggie wig theaters on the West Coast. So I did a million things like that. And then I came to LA, and along came voiceover. So all those skills I learned as an actor, doing accents, dialects, speaking languages and character voices and all that, all came in very handy. But all my life I'd been studying things about history and Wendy can tell you, she brings me into a session and I'm pronouncing things that other people can't. We had this one session on cyberpunk, and what was her name from Tokyo?
Producer, say.
Yeah. What's that?
Saya.
That's right. Saya came in. First of all, we talked to her in Tokyo, and then she came actually to LA. And Wendy said, "Oh, how do we want everybody to say this word?" And Saya said, "Well, the way Paul just said it." And Wendy said, "Yeah, but all of my other actors don't have Paul's language skills." So that's where we end up doing what I call gringo Japanese. Like I speak some sessions where we're doing gringo French. Because we're saying it not with the correct pronunciation, but the way that the actors can do it. And more importantly, the way the audience members can understand it.
Yeah.
I started off as a precocious kid. I would be like, watching cartoons and thinking, I want to do that. So I'd be like, oh, no, see here, so I'm not, and I'll be, hi, boys and girls, it's Mickey Mouse. Or, hey, it's Kermit the Frog. And my mom was like, shut your face. You have to not do that in my living room. You have to do that somewhere else. So I started really young. I'm from Chicago, and I did like commercials, like Kraft and McDonald's and stuff like that. And then I moved to California, and I took 2 voice acting classes. I took Charlie Adler's class. He was Cow and Chicken. He was the original Buster Bunny, and he was Starscream in the Michael Bay movies. And I took Bob Bergen's class. Bob Bergen, that's all, folks. He's Porky Pig right now. He's still Porky Pig right now.
Yep.
And I started auditioning, and you get Sue Blue gave me my first job, and you get one small part, you get another part, and eventually you have a collection or a collage of many parts, and people know your work is good, and you end up sitting on the stage with these awesome actors.
I get this question. I think we all get this question. People come to the panels and stuff and they say, how do I get into voiceover? And my go-to answer, and it's true, is take class. If this is what you want to do, take class, because you will refine your talents. You will discover how far out you can reach with your talent. You'll create new characters, and you will make contacts. And that's what happens is you leave the class and somebody that you were working with maybe gets cast on something and they're looking for some voice and he says, I know a guy. And this is how it works. It's just a giant circle of people talking about other people, and that's how they get work. So
With the network, my son went to film school and he was a big networker. And within 2 weeks of finishing film school, he was on a set getting paid.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because of networks. Now, he wasn't getting a lot of money, it wasn't a big set, but everybody else took a year to get their first job. He was on within 2 or 3 weeks because networking with other people. Because now, when we were coming up, we had to fight our way through as individuals. Now you guys can, this generation works as a group. and you won't raise yourselves up, and that's really important, and that's really bringing some really good talent to the forefront in LA.
Yeah.
We're seeing some new talent that's really quite good, much better than they used to be coming when they came in
Entry
new.
level, yeah.
Entry level, yeah, so.
So was that your advice? Did you tell him, did you inform him that networking was really key to?
No, I think he just saw it. I mean, he's also one of those guys who's social, has a bunch of friends.
Yeah.
He's just much more outgoing than I am, actually. But it was, but he started learning by, because he was working as a bartender. He met a guy who was the president of the Cinematographers Society local, and that's what he wanted to be. In fact, he just got moved up. He's now the VP of Ransom Canyon for Netflix.
Wow.
But it was that networking that between him and this the head of the cinematography, and then he encouraged him to network with other people. So in film school, he would been his cinematographer's teacher was an Academy Award-winning DP. So he just hung out with him and networked with him. So he got a lot of advice, and that put him in touch with other people. Anyway, that's just the way it goes now, and that's the best way to get out. If you want to get into any creative endeavor, it's really do it as a group. It's much because the insecurities that we all feel as actors and as artists, it can be debilitating. But when you're working with other people, you got a balance, and that's I think why it works so well.
I just wanted to jump in on role models. When I first got in a definition or an understanding of what voiceover was, I absolutely had a burning desire to get into it. I had no idea how to do it, but this goes back to all the cartoons that were my babysitters. When I grew latchkey kids who just sat in front of a TV all the time, I learned all the theme songs, and then it was Pebbles on the Flintstones. That's a little kid's voice. That's something I could do. It was Judy Jetson, right, Mother, on the Jetsons. I thought, yeah, that's something I could do. How do you get into this stuff? And then it was that little witch in the Haunted Mansion. Hurry back. We're just dying to see you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And I thought, that is what I'm gonna do. I don't know how. I was already an actor and I wanted to have a film career, and I was doing very well in Hollywood plays, and I was originating a number of characters in original material, and I was working on The Young and Restless, but I wanted to get into voiceover too, and I just wasn't sure how. And then my fourth grade teacher, Mrs. Robertson, used to speak so clear, and I wanted to emulate her speech. My mom was from Texas. I didn't want any kind of accent at all. And then Jane Pauley on the Today Show, all those years ago, you guys might see her now on CBS's morning show, has perfect dialect in English. Every letter is so crisp, and I emulated her to have the best speech pattern I could find. And then finally, my grand rip-off inspiration is Miss Kate Blanchett. And she is my inspiration for so many characters, especially Alex Strauss of the Dragon Queen on World of Warcraft.
Oh, beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, so when it comes to networking, and when you go to network, just remember, I know a guy.
More questions? Yes.
I think we have, what, 5 minutes left? Or is it?
Well, quick question. Y'all mentioned y'all did voice work for Robotech/Macros. So that was a cartoon that I grew up with as a kid. Didn't really know too much about what was going on, but then when we came back on tonight, I was like, wow, this is amazing. So, y'all had any shows that y'all did like older anime that kind of research like been like the last 10 or 5 years?
Well, Robotech's been pretty big. Yeah, love it.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of us worked on Robotech back in the day.
My first series.
Yeah, there was
Mine too, yeah.
there was a genius man named Carl Masek who was the
God,
producer,
yes.
and he's passed away now, unfortunately, at a young age. But he had the concept of going to Japan, taking 3 separate series, and pushing them together as Robotech, and he created the bridge material between each series so that it all kind of flowed together. And I always thought, I still say to people, I think Robotech was one of the very first big anime hits in America.
It was, yeah.
I mean, I've heard people talk about, what did we say? Ghost in the Shell, and what was the other one?
Akira.
Yeah.
Kira.
No,
Oh,
Akira
my God.
came later.
Yeah.
Akira came
Well,
later.
okay.
But I'm talking about stuff that,
Well, the original Akira, a lot of the anime was about that time, but as a series, it was later, as a show or the
Of
movie.
course, Battle of the Planets
Yeah,
was
that was
one.
Brown.
Yeah.
Star
Star Blazers.
Yeah, some of those. But I thought Robotech was the first giant hit, you know,
It was
in
the
anime.
first- It was the first one to make actual ratings.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there was, in broadcast, there was other anime had been broadcast. I grew up on Kimber the White Lion and Gigantor.
Oh,
Right.
Black and white.
Right. Right.
But nobody admitted that they were Japanese at all. I mean,
Yeah.
they were just sounding like that. So it was the first one that admitted it was Japanese and actually got enough viewers that it actually got rating points. I think a 0.4, which is tiny, but for an anime in 1985, that's extraordinary.
Yeah.
So that's why it became a little bit more mainstream and it became a destination cartoon for a lot of people.
Yeah.
They run home from school and watch it.
Based on your question, I used to run home to watch Kimba the White Lion. I would start at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I would run, and my school luckily was a block and a half from home. And so I run home and sit there and watch Kimba. And then about 30 years later, I got a call from a director. His name was John Rust. He called, he said, "We want to bring a show back." It was called Kimba the White Lion. I said, "A what?" You know? And he said, "We want you to play Daniel the Baboon."
I would be crying at that point.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I was so blown away. And I remembered Daniel's voice, so that's what I brought to the show. And sadly, that didn't get picked up. We were gonna redo Rocket Boy, that didn't get picked up. There was one other that I was working on, again, old shows, and they never brought them back, and I was hoping they would, because to be able to do something that I grew up with would have just been awesome, you know?
We have time for one more question. Does somebody have a question?
Sure.
Pick them.
This guy.
Is there any now they recently did the original Dirty Pair TV series from 1985. Is there any series that you'd like to see get English up?
This is really hard for me. It's a crossover between New Jersey and anime, and that is Megas XLR. I really, yes. For Cartoon Network, I wish we got another season. We were told at the time that mech shows were not in fashion anymore. They discontinued Megas and they promoted 2 other mech shows. And unfortunately, it has remained that way. They haven't released DVDs or any other form of it. And the creators, George and Chris, both want to do more seasons. I'm in touch with them and have been all these years. But unfortunately, Cartoon Network attached a large tax bill to the series. So the whole tax bill would have to be paid. It was a big loss. They used it as a write-off. So the tax bill would have to be paid. And then the budget would have to be raised. But what an amazing series. And thank you for those of you who remember it.
There's always room for meth shows. What are you talking about?
No, not
One
meth.
more, one more question. What was your question?
Oh, that's so sweet of you.
I don't know, I don't try to think about that. But it does give me a lot of gratitude and surprise and joy that things turned out this way. I didn't have the career I would set out to get, but man, did I have a great career that got me here. And I'm really grateful to all of you for that.
Yeah, we don't realize how important this stuff is until we meet you and we see how what an effect it had on your lives and as you were growing up.
Yes, people come up to us and they say your show changed my life.
Yeah.
Your show saved my life in one particular case, you know?
These
So,
shows changed all of our lives.
absolutely, in many so wonderful ways, and in that case, absolutely thank all of you.
Yeah, because as voice actors, they have you.
That wasn't for you.
The thing is, it's just one actor in a room, and there's a director and an engineer, and sometimes now the director and the engineer will be the same person. And it's not like when you act in theater and you get that energy back right away, or you're on TV and people say, "Hey, I saw you on this." So sometimes we don't know. And when we see you and we come to cons and you say, you know, Naruto or Bleach changed my childhood, it shaped my life. It's an honor and a privilege.
Absolutely.
and to be a part of the.
Humbling.
Yeah, that, you know, because you guys have spent hours and hours absorbing these shows, and to be a part of that in a small way I'm very grateful for.
Thank you so much.
So
I just have one more thing. I just wanted to say, I feel like it's an opportunity to connect with you guys in a very meaningful way. And we really try to go out of our way to make our connection with you an important and memorable one. And that's why the lines might be long. And, it's
Not
the
at my
cherry-
booth.
it's the cherry on top. I never knew there were fans the first 10 years of my career. And to be able to actually interact with you all and to receive all of the beautiful compliments and love and kindness that you give, it's an opportunity to give it right back to you. So all from the bottom of our hearts, thank you so much.
Thank you.
We're gonna respond. So thank you very much. We're gonna add our next one, second floor.